In this video, I'm showing you guys the best comic collection purchase so far of 2024. What is up, guys? Welcome to the paperchase channel. My name is John. I make YouTube videos that help people fund the hobby. Sometimes I'll throw in a nice collection buy, a CGC unboxing. If you like stuff like that, consider subscribing. Now, diving into this video. Best collection purchase of 2024. What does that mean? Basically, that means it's the best purchase for the books that I got versus the money I spent on this collection. This is a good one. This is a really good one. Probably the best one since this video here, which was, I think, over a year ago. Now, where did I find this collection? Where I find a lot of them, Facebook Marketplace. So a couple nights ago, I'm searching through Facebook Marketplace. I see this photo right here. I messaged the seller, and we choose a day and meetup spot the next day. And I head out there. Now, this video, typically what I do is I wait until the very end to tell you what I paid for everything. I'm telling you right now that this is an insane deal. I'm going to tell you what I paid up front for these books. $300. And then I'm just going to hit you with what was in it. Now, I don't typically show too much of the negotiation transaction part because I don't feel it's good to do that when you're in a business negotiation setting. Plus, not everybody wants to do this thing of being on camera. But I did take a little bit of footage en route and a very quick little footage of while I was there. And here you go. Here it is. About to pull into the Tanger Outlet Malls, meeting a guy in a black car about some comics. That's what I'll leave my family for. Left them at the house. Went to go meet a sketchy guy in an unmarked car for some books. Will I regret this later in life? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Woo! All right, deal's done. This might be a little better than what I thought. The titles were good. I saw a couple of decent books as I was flipping through them very quickly. It's a bit more than I thought. The condition's a little bit worse than I thought, but that's okay. A little more Bronze Age than I thought. So, real quick, we'll take a stack out. This is going to be, we're going to do the live unboxing on the show like how we typically do. And we'll take a small stack out just to kind of see what we got. So, seeing stuff like this, some Bronze Age stuff. Yeah, it's nothing too exciting. Nothing too exciting there. We got the first Brother Blood. I did see a first Deathstroke in there. We'll see, man. We could have some decent books in here. We'll see. All right. Drive back to the fam. Let's go. Make a quick Target trip before I head back to the house. Pulled out maybe we'll say 10% of this stuff here, and just dug around a little bit. You know, you kind of, for me, when I get a collection, I want to know as soon as possible that the money's there. All I gotta do is sell a few books or whatever, and some of the money is going to be recouped. And I think I found that. Yeah. Premiere number 15, first appearance of Iron Fist. I'll take it. Good start. Sample size, 15%. That's a good start. All right, some details about how this went down and how this whole thing started. So when I got there, the guy was super nice. How did he get this? This is always my first question when I go and buy a collection. How did you get these? And apparently this guy was helping an older lady move from her house, and I believe these were left by her stepson or son. I didn't get the full details, and he probably didn't either. But they were her sons or stepsons, and basically the lady's like, look, whatever you see in his room, take it. Whatever you want, just take it. She just kind of wanted to be done with it all. And so him and his buddy chose the guns, and then this guy here chose the comics. So good on him. So he chose the comics. He got all of these comics for free. He immediately realized the amount of work that goes into sorting, figuring out what's valuable, and organizing all this stuff, and then immediately posted on Facebook Marketplace. So that being said, I looked through everything. I chose probably about 10% of the books. You know, I didn't want to sit in a parking lot and go through every single book. And the way that these books were stored was they were stuffed in bags bags, about 3 or 4 to a pack. So I explained to him the time it's going to take to organize the stuff, bag it, board it, materials, right? There's a certain set of things you got to remind people when buying comics. Check out this video if you want to know more about buying collections. I actually took out $260 before I left the house, and that's what I told him, that I had an idea of what I wanted to pay coming into this thing, being the potential condition and all, and he hit me back with $300, and I said, you know what, the odds are probably in my favor on this thing. I was like, yeah, sure. So I Venmo'd him the 40 extra bucks. We did the deal. He helped me load it up. And that was it. The guy was super nice. And from his description of the books that he went through that I didn't go through, was he made it sound like these things were in really good condition. You know, us collectors, we know, what somebody who doesn't collect comics thinks is very good condition versus what we know is good and not good condition is very different things. Keep that in mind when buying these collections. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a lot of the bulk stuff. There's going to be a couple of minor keys that you're going to see in here, but this is the majority of the books, and then we're going to get to the key issues at the end here. One thing I can tell you, if you are somebody who consistently tries to fund the hobby or even sell comic books on the side, the best piece of advice that I really can give you is find great deals, but then give great deals. And when you do this, you have the most fun funding the hobby. It allows the door to stay open, and you encounter more and more books by finding and releasing. In that sense, if you model your comic selling after that, you end up seeing and hanging out and spending a lot more time with a lot more different comics, and you run into a lot more different stuff. All right, so that was the bulk of the stuff. Some good stuff in there, some minor keys, some decent titles, some not so decent titles. So I'm going to start off with the one that you guys had already seen. It's Marvel Premiere issue number 15. This is the first appearance of Iron Fist. This is this book just drips with the Bronze Age, and I love it. I love the look of Bronze Age books. I love the art of Bronze Age books. I love how the Bronze Age was heavy in kung fu and magic. That stuff's cool. That's very of the era. Now this copy here is probably about a 7.5, which is, decent, respectable copy. And I don't know. I may or may not get it graded. We'll see. We'll see. Right along here, here's some more of the key issues. This one I'm showing it because it was pretty high grade, and this is a pretty cool book. This is a Spider-Man versus Wolverine. This thing is definitely a near mint plus, and cool book here. We had a Batman number 386. This is the first newsstand. This is the first appearance of the Black Mask, and this one here is probably like a 8.0, 8.5. Had a decent little bit of New Mutants in there, as you saw. And here's one. This is New Mutants Annual number 2. This is the first appearance of Psylocke. And, this is a lower grade copy. But guess what? For, $8, $10, whatever this thing ends up getting priced at, first appearance of Psylocke, it makes it easy to move and somebody can get it. A couple of other kind of minor key issues surrounding the first Iron Fist. Marvel Premiere 16 and 19. This one right here is the origin of Iron Fist. And this one in high grade can kind of go for a bit, but this one's probably about a 7.5, 8.0. Next up, always a cool book. This is What If Wolverine Had Killed the Hulk, newsstand copy. Decent condition. This is actually probably 8.5. We have Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16, first appearance of Monica Rambeau. And I would love one of these in a 9.8 one day. One of my core of my collection, my personal collection, is high-grade horror stuff. And Alice Cooper is just, he's in that. You know, he reminds me of that stuff. So, and if you ever seen his live show, which I'm sure some of you have, Alice Cooper #1, first appearance of Alice Cooper in comics. This is so cool. Not a very, very high-grade copy, but it's my only copy, so I'll probably keep that one. Now, this is a book I've run into probably 6 or 7 times this year. For some reason, this book has just followed me around this year. And this is probably about a 8.0, 7.5 copy. This is Avengers Annual #10, first appearance of Rogue. Nice affordable copy. Now, this was one of the books that I saw in that small sample size that I looked at in the parking lot. I saw this book, and I was like, okay. I was like, it definitely hasn't been picked through. So if he accepts my offer, I'll feel comfortable. And that was New Teen Titans #2, first appearance of Deathstroke. And this one is not a super high grade copy. It's again, probably like a 7.0 or, yeah, 7.0, 7.5. Time to get into some of the bigger issues. Next one is Omega Men #3. This one's actually in pretty good condition. This is definitely in the 9s, 100%. Omega Men #3, first appearance of Lobo. We have a Marvel Premiere issue #47, first appearance of Scott Lang as Ant-Man. Now, I already have this book, but this is and the one that I have is graded. And honestly, at this point, I kind of wish I never would have gotten it graded. It came back a 4.5. This one's still not worth grading either. This is probably a 7.5, but this is Marvel Premiere issue 28, first appearance of the Legion of Monsters. Awesome book. So I'll probably actually sell my 4.5. I'll probably actually bust out the slab and sell it raw. Now, we're dealing with a Bronze and Copper Age collection here. What's a nice full run to have in the Copper Age? What do y'all think? You already know. Secret Wars 1 through 12. The entire run was in there. Now, what's crazy is the best condition book out of all 12 books was the #8. And this one is probably about an 8.5 to a 9.0. The rest of them are roughly, you know, mid-grade, kind of, some of them reader copies. I'm going to keep the lot together, and I'm actually just going to sell the entire lot as it is. So again, if you're interested in that, I'll give you a great deal on those. Now, 3 more books to show you guys. The next 2, my jaw hit the floor when I saw, back to back. Just because all of these books are within a certain era, and then all of a sudden when this book from this era and the timing of this book comes about, yeah, my jaw hit the floor. Well, first, let me show you the first one. First one that shocked me was Fantastic Four issue #6. Lot of first in this. You've got the first appearance of Annihilus, first appearance of the Negative Zone, and the first appearance of Franklin Richards. So this thing is really beat up. It's probably a 2.5. Very cool to see that in there. And then the next one, well, shoot, I'll just show you. Fantastic Four Annual #2, Origin of Doctor Doom. Now, why I kind of like this is because, so I have his first appearance here, right? It's beat to hell. It's complete. But it's a 0.5 because the cover's completely split. But it's all there. And this completely beat to hell copy just really kind of goes good with it. So I might keep this one. Yeah. And then that way I can read it without worrying about messing it up. All right, 1 book left. I was very pleased. Now, see, I'll give you 5 seconds and see if you can guess out of the type of collection you saw here. There's a nice, pretty big Bronze Age key. Not like crazy big, but there's a nice size Bronze Age key that should be in here with the type of collector this person was. Can you guess? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We had an Iron Fist #14, first appearance of Sabretooth. And this thing, I think, with a good clean and a press, could hit the 9s. Maybe a 9.0. The only thing really wrong with this is at the very, very top, there's these little, I want to say, I think I heard somebody use the term recently, cucking, Basically, it's when the paper is cut, and it comes from a dull blade when the paper is cut, and it kind of pulls at the top edge of the comic there, and it creates those little micro tears. Typically, the grade is not hit hard for it at all, if at all. And then other than that, there's a little bit of wear and a little small crease at the top corner here. You got maybe 3 or 4 spine ticks that are very, very small. Other than that, a clean and a press could maybe take this thing to a 9.0. And that's a nice book. I have a 7.5 signed by Claremont here. And it's got the X-Men custom label, which is really cool. It looks really good in that book. So I don't know if Claremont does another signing, I might get him to sign this one, and then I'm going to sell that one. So that's the pickup. That is the best collection purchase so far of 2024. I got more to come. I'm working on one from New Jersey right now that involves almost an entire Incredible Hulk run, minus a couple of bigger issues, but it's in there. Also this week, hit the notification bell because we're probably going to do a CGC live unboxing. That would be very cool, unless we get hit by the Bender Gate. But that's pretty much it. Leave a comment below what your favorite pickup in this collection was. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next page.